Good morning. It's June the 28th, 2020. Today I'll be sharing out of Psalm 46. This is out of the Passion Translation that I'll use to read, and I think it's a psalm that kind of redirects where our focus needs to be now. It's called God is on Our Side. God, you're such a safe and powerful place to find refuge. You are a proven help in time of trouble. More than enough and available whenever I need you. You know, God is just a word away. It doesn't take much to call on him for help. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. So anytime we need help, we need to call on God, and he is happy to answer. So we will never fear, even if every structure of support were to crumble away. We will not fear when the earth quakes and shakes, moving mountains and casting them into the sea. For the raging roar of stormy winds and crashing waves cannot erode our faith in you. We see a lot of things tumbling. We see a lot of people that are concerned, and we need to know God is still in control. It doesn't matter if we see things falling apart. It doesn't matter if things don't look the way we think we should look. I just listened to a song the other day, and it's called The Waymaker. And it's so amazing because it talks about how even when we can't see anything happening, God is still working behind the scenes. So when these things happen, the psalmist is saying that I will not lose faith in who you are no matter what goes on. But we can say that as well. No matter what things look like on the outside, we can see that God is still God. God is not surprised. God is not up in heaven saying, oh, I'm so worried. What are they going to do? No, God is bigger than all that. And so we cannot let those things erode our faith, just like the psalmist. He hasn't changed. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he is stronger and mightier than anything else that can come against our country, come against us, come against our faith. But it doesn't change because God is still there. He's there, and he is ready to help us. And like I said, we need to call on his name, and he will be there. He is just a prayer away. He is just a whisper away. God has constantly flowing river whose sparkling streams bring joy and delight to his people. God has the amazing Holy Spirit. God has rivers of refreshing for us. When we focus on him, he will saturate our souls with his goodness, with his love, his mercy, his kindness. The Holy Spirit will refresh us, just like taking a shower after a really hot day working outside. God will refresh our souls. No matter what's going on the inside, he doesn't judge us for that. He just wants us to call on him and to bring his refreshing, to bring his peace. He's got everything that we need. His river flows right through the city of God, Most High, and into his holy dwelling places. God is in the midst of his city, secure and never shaken. We don't have to worry. God's not going anywhere. And he's, like I said, he is not afraid. He is not worried about what people are doing. He is there. In fact, we need to start praying and asking God to go on our behalf. That is our job as the church. We are supposed to call on the name of the Lord. Psalm 33:3 says, call unto me, and I will show you great and mighty things that you do not know. Call on him. He is there, and he has everything we need. There is nothing that we need that God cannot provide. And it's saying here that this river, it's in the place, it's a holy place. It's when we're secure and we're focused on him. Isaiah says that when my mind is on you, you will give me peace. There is peace when our focus is on our God. But when our focus is everywhere else, we're going to be tossed like waves. And that's not a sturdy place to be. And I spoke a few weeks ago that when a storm comes, a boat puts down its anchor. We need to anchor ourselves in God, because He will deliver us. No matter what it looks like, He will deliver us. When the nations, at daybreak, His help will be seen with the appearing of the dawn. Every day, His mercies are new. When the nations are in uproar with their tottering kingdoms, God simply raises His voice, and the earth begins to disintegrate before Him. One word from God can halt anything. One word. It doesn't matter who it is. One word. That's how powerful He is. You know, in Isaiah, it talks about how God sits in heaven. Oh, maybe it's the Psalms, I'm not sure. But He sits in heaven, and the earth is His footstool. We are just a small part of this creation, and God can hold us in the palm of His hand. There is nothing too big for our God. Here He comes. The commander, the mighty Lord of angel armies, is on our side. The God of Jacob fights for us. Selah, which means pause in His presence. We're supposed to stop and think about the mighty deeds of God, the things that God has done in the past, the stories we read in the Bible. All those things can encourage us. And we know that people of the Bible, the Psalms, when David wrote the Psalms, a lot of time he was running for his life. But even after he cried out to God and he gave his complaints and his concerns, but then as he did that, he encouraged himself. He reminded himself of who God was, and his faith was restored. So everyone look, come and see the breathtaking wonders of our God, for He brings both ruin and revival. He is the one who makes conflicts through an end throughout the earth, breaking and burning every weapon of war. Surrender your anxiety. Be silent and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. In the older version, it stated, be still and know that I am God. When we put our focus on God, there is a stillness. There is a peace inside of us, one that is going to carry us through every storm. It's a rest because God already did the work. On the sixth day, God finished all His work. On the seventh day, He rested. And from that time that God rested, we can rest. He did His job. Then Jesus came. And when He was on the cross, He said, it is finished. Jesus did His job. All we need to do is turn our focus on Him. We need to believe that He is for us, not against us. That's what Romans says. And it also says that He will take all things and He will make them work together for our good. So even if we can't see the end of this fight right now, we know that God is for us and He can turn things around and He can use everything and He can make something good out of it. So put your hope in God. The last few verses of this psalm are, here He stands, the commander. The mighty Lord of angel armies is on our side. The God of Jacob fights for us. Pause in His presence. Stop. Think who God is. Put your focus on Him. Remember, He parted the Red Sea for Israel to walk through and protected them from the Egyptian armies that came after them. He has been protecting people for thousands and thousands of years, and He's not going to stop His job. He's going to take care of us. And so now we need to stop, focus, and put our trust in Him. And as we think about God and all His wonders, we will know who is the victor. We will win these battles through our God. Thank you, and have a good week.